Hello friends, welcome to my channel Go Digit. Today in this video we will learn about the concepts of variables of different data types and the arrays in the PowerShell. So let's begin. So I have already opened up the PowerShell integrated scripting environment, and here uh, so in order to start with the variables, uh, like if you want to create a variable of any data type, the starting point is that we have to add this dollar sign, and then we have to type the name of the variable. Let's say uh, int var, and then I can assign 2, right? So this means that now this variable turn into an integer variable, right? And if I click on this now, if I type here int var, you will see that now it is giving me the value of 2. And if you really want to know the data type of this variable, then we can type here int var dot get type, and when you press enter you will see the name which holds integer 32, right, which means that it is an integer data type. Now the 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 most unique point in the PowerShell is that we can assign different values altogether in just one variable. So for example, currently this is an integer variable, right? And it holds the value 2 at the moment. However, I can assign any string as well, and if I press enter I will not get any error. And now if I try to fetch the value, like what the value my variable holds, I can type int var and it is giving me this value. And now if you want to see the data type, okay, so let's begin with, if I type here int var dot get type and press enter, so you can see that now I'm getting the value as string, right? So previously it was integer data type, now it is of string data type, which means that we can change the values, we can modify the values in the variable of different data types, and then it will change the type of the variable altogether. So there is no problem in assigning different types of values, and there is no need to attach any name of the data type along with the variable name, right? You just have to declare a variable name and then directly assign a value, and PowerShell is intelligent enough to uh, to understand that based on the value you are assigning to your variable, it understand that this variable now is a part of integer class, or is a part of decimal class, or it's a part of the string class, right? So this is the basic concept of how we can play with the variables. Now let's move to the concept of arrays. Okay, so to begin with, the arrays also is very much similar, just like how we are playing with the normal variables, right? So the thing is, to start with the array variables, what we can do is like we have to type again the dollar sign, and then we can type here the name of my array variable, right? So let's say I can assign here array var, and then I have to type at the rate and now these small brackets. Okay, so currently when you type this, it tells the PowerShell that you are trying to define an array variable with no values at the moment, or if you want to assign some values you can always do so. So for example, right now if I want to assign some values I can do so, like let's say test1, or like this I can assign Apple, Samsung, Microsoft, right? And now if you want to, let's say, run this. Okay, so now I have initiated my array variable with these three values. Okay, now if you want to see that what this variable holds, array var, and you can just type the name of the variable and it will give you the list of the uh, values it holds, right? So currently this variable, array variable, holds Apple, Samsung, Microsoft, three options. Okay, and because we know that these values have some index number attached to it, so if you want to know that what value each index number holds, so we can type and find out the things by passing the number. And just like in normal programming languages, the array starts with a zero, so here also the value starts from the zero itself. So if you type 0 here, you will get the value of the first value, and then if I type here 1 and press enter, I'm getting the value as the second one, and if I type here 3, I will get sorry, 2, and this is the Microsoft. So although it looks like 3, but there is no value at the 3 position this my array variable holds, right? Now let's say, because as I told you that the PowerShell, in the PowerShell we can modify the values in the variable at any given point of time, right? So at the moment, like let's say my area variable holds three options, and let's say I want to add one more option. So what I can do is that array variable plus equals to, okay, and then I can assign one more value to it. Okay, so let's say I can assign nothing, press enter, and now if I type here array var, so you can see that I'm getting four options now: Apple, Samsung, Microsoft, and nothing. Okay, and if I want to show you the value my at the three position holds, it's nothing, right? So it is too easy that if you want to add more options to your current array variable, so you can always do so by like using this plus variable plus equals to, and then whatever value you want to add you can add, so, and there is no problem in it. Now the second thing which I wanted to tell you here is that if you want to modify, like let's say you don't want to use this nothing, but you want to add some more options, some different value, so we what we can do is that I can type here array var, and at the three position I want the different value. So let's say I can type here poco, press enter, and now if I type here array var, you can see that my variable holds different option other than nothing. Okay, so first three options are same, but the last option is different now, right? So in this way we can create a new array variable, we can assign the values into it, we can modify the values into it, we can add the values into it. Okay, now let's say you want to remove some values into it, right? Let's say you want to go back to the original three options and you don't want the fourth one. So as such, there is no direct way through which you can remove, like there is no direct option or function available through which you can remove the values from the array variable, but there is a way to handle this thing. So let's understand that way, that how we can remove the options, how we can remove the values from the current array variable. So to do that, what we have to do is that I have to again type array var, and we know the output. If I just press enter, we know that these four options will come. Okay, now we have to use pipe. Okay, which means that now whatever command I will run, it will run accordingly with this, pass the options whatever I run here or type here, uh, the results of that command will pass into this, and then it will show me the values altogether. Okay, so what I want to do is that I want to filter, that I don't want this poco, but I just want to see only three options, so I want to filter. So what I can type here is, there is a command called like where. Okay, so we can use where, and then the braces, and then the dollar sign, and then underscore, which means that basically this is nothing but it denotes this array var only. This basically reference to the results of the array var only variable, right? So when you type this, then we can add one parameter, and you can see that there are so many parameters available, but what I want is ne. So ne means not equals to, right? What I want is whatever the results of this variable which this variable holds, I don't want uh, this poco to be shown in my results, right? So I'm telling that not equals to poco, print me the results of array where the value is not equals to poco. Okay, and now if you press enter, you will see that now I'm getting the results of only Apple, Samsung and Microsoft. Okay, either you can type this or you can also type like this, that array var 3, right? You will get the same results. That I don't want to see the option which stores at the 3 position, right? Although as I told you that it is just filtering the records, it is not like that it removes the poco from my variable. So if I just want to run this, you will see that poco is still a part of my array variable. It's just that I use this command to filter the records here. Okay, so let's say, because now I know how I can filter the data from my array variable, so I just have to find out one way through which I can just remove this filtered option, or I can store these three options all together in a different variable. So how I can do that? I can use the same thing, array var, but this time what I can do is that array var is equals to, again, array var, but this time I will pass here where, okay, where, again the same option, dollar underscore ne and poco. Okay, so what now I'm telling here, that first of all check the values in the array where, and like wherever the poco option is there, just do not use that. Apart from whatever options this array variable holds, transfer those options to this array variable. Okay, and now press enter, and if I now try to show you the values this array variable holds and press enter, and now you will see that now my new variable array var holds only Apple, Samsung and Microsoft. Because as I've told you, and we have learned also, that there is in the variables part of the PowerShell, we can easily modify the current values. Okay, so in the same fashion we have done the same thing. We modified the existing variable, array variable, with the same array variable name only. It's just that we filtered the record first, and then whatever the filtered records we get from this command, we pass those filtered records to this variable, and that's why now my array variable hold this thing. And if I want to show you if there is anything at this third position, there is nothing, right? So this is the way we can, through which we can add the values, we can delete the values, we can modify the values. Okay, the next thing is that, let's say you just want to remove every option, everything, you just want to make your variable blank. So we can do that, like array var equals to null, dollar null, and if you press enter, that's it. Now if I print array var, it has nothing, completely blank, right? So this way my array variable now holds nothing. Let's that's the basic concept that how we can play with the array variables, how we can create the new array variables. Now I would like to show you one more option, that if I want to uh, go through, or if I want to loop the values based on whatever number of values my array variable holds, how I can loop through all the values of the array variable uh, with the for each loop. Okay, so what I can do is that first of all, let's say I can assign some values. Okay, like let's say Samsung, press, okay, mistake, like this. Okay, now it holds Samsung, Microsoft. Okay, basically it is not the, because right now this variable is not an array variable, right? Because I just change it to null, so now PowerShell does not understand that whether it's an array variable or just a normal string variable. So it considers it as a normal string variable, and that's why it just concatenate and treat it as a one string. Okay, so what I can do here is that let me create a new variable. Okay, loop, array loop. Let me name it as array loop at the rate Samsung, Microsoft, and Apple. Right, just press enter, and if I type here array loop, that I have these three values. Okay, so the last thing which I wanted to share in this today's video is that if I want to loop through all the values one by one in my array variable, so how I can do that? So to achieve that thing, we have one function, or one loop, just like we understand for loop, while loop, do while loop. So we have this for each loop available. So for each, let's say ARR loop, sorry, not at the rate, but in $array loop, host value is ARR loop, right? So what I'm trying to tell the PowerShell that I have created one variable ARR loop, which will take the values from my original array variable, which holds three values, one by one, and for each value I am just trying to print that thing. Okay, so let's run this, and you will see that I am getting the values one by one, like value is Samsung, value is Microsoft, value is Apple. So in this way, that if in case your variable holds multiple values, or if your variable is an array variable and you want to use, or you want to use each value, and then you want to perform some operations in each values of your array variable, then you can easily do so by using for each loop, right? So that's the way, that's the basic beginner level of a concept which I wanted to share with you guys to understand the use case of the array variable, right? uh, I hope you will now understand the basic things with respect to the normal variables and like the array variables in the PowerShell. So that's all in the today's video. If you like it, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.